Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a parenting philosophy that might just change the way you see, well, everything, from tantrums to chores. It's an approach that creates some truly surprising and honestly amazing results.
So picture this. You're in a super crowded subway in Tokyo, and you see this little girl, maybe 6 years old, sitting all by herself. When her stop comes, she just stands up and gets off. No parent in sight. For most of us, our jaws would be on the floor, right? But in Japan, that's actually surprisingly normal.
So that leads to the big question, what is the secret? How in the world do parents in Japan raise kids who are so capable, so calm, and so incredibly independent? Well, in this explainer, we're going to unpack their core ideas, and we're going to start with the foundation, the mindset.
See, it all starts not with a bunch of rules, but with building a resilient mind. The goal isn't just to teach kids what to do, it's to teach them how to think about the challenges they are absolutely, inevitably going to face in life.
And you can see the power of this mindset in just a single phrase. Here in the West, we often say good luck, which, when you think about it, kind of suggests success is out of your hands. It's up to chance. But in Japan, they say ganbatte. It means do your best or work hard. It's a huge shift that praises the effort you put in, not just some innate talent or random luck.
This whole philosophy is captured perfectly in this famous proverb, fall down 7 times, get up 8. It's not about trying to avoid failure, it's about building the muscle of persistence. The point isn't to never fall down, it's to know that you can always get back up. That, right there, is the core of resilience.
And here's a super simple but incredibly powerful tool you can use. When a child says, I can't do this, you teach them to add one little word, yet. I can't do this, yet. Wow. It completely transforms a dead-end statement into a promise of what's to come, turning that fixed mindset into a growth mindset.
And this way of thinking feeds into a larger, beautiful Japanese concept called ikigai, which is basically about finding your reason to wake up in the morning. Now, for a kid, this isn't about picking a career. No, it's about nurturing their own internal motivation, encouraging them to figure out what they truly love and what they're good at. It builds a sense of purpose that goes way beyond just getting good grades.
Okay, so with that resilient mindset as our base, let's zoom into the home itself. Let's see how some really specific, mindful habits can create a profoundly calmer family life for everybody.
A key concept for the home is shitsuke. Now, you might hear this translated as discipline, but that doesn't really do it justice. It's not about punishment at all. Think of it more like gentle, consistent habit forming. You use daily routines to build self-control from the inside out. It's all about teaching, not just telling them what to do. I love this metaphor because it brilliantly illustrates the goal of shitsuke. Your parental guidance is like a basting thread in sewing. It's there to hold things together temporarily, but the whole point is to eventually remove it once the child has learned the skill and can manage all on their own. So, how do you do this in the real world? Here is a fantastic technique. Let's say your kid spills their juice. Your first instinct is probably to rush in and clean it up. Instead, try the 5-second rule. First, you just calmly state the fact. The juice spilled. Then, you wait. You pause for 5 seconds of silence. In that little gap, you give your child the space to see the problem, process it, and realize, hey, I can solve this. It's a huge shift from helplessness to taking action.
Okay, now for the big one, tantrums. The typical Western response is to talk, to reason, right? Use your words, we need to go, calm down. But when a child is melting down, their logical brain is completely offline. Talking to them is basically like pouring fuel on a fire. The Japanese approach is the exact opposite, responsive silence.
This silent approach is really rooted in the concept of amai. It's a kind of emotional dependence on a caregiver. Now, I know in the West, the word dependence can sound a little negative, but in this context, it's all about building a secure, trusting bond. During a tantrum, it means the parent just acts as a calm, loving anchor, allowing the child to lean on their presence to feel safe and grounded again.
And get this, the data on this is just staggering. One study compared tantrum durations. With verbal reasoning, the typical American approach, the average tantrum lasted over 7 minutes. With the Japanese approach of silent presence, just over 1 minute. The results really do speak for themselves.
So the crucial idea here is connection before correction. And a huge part of that connection comes from a concept called skinship. It's this belief that physical closeness, Things like hugs, co-sleeping, wearing your baby, is absolutely essential for building that strong, intimate bond.
And this isn't just a nice idea. There is hard science behind this. Physical touch actually releases oxytocin. You know, the love hormone? It literally helps co-regulate a child's nervous system. They borrow your calm to soothe their own. And this foundation of physical security is what creates a child who feels safe enough to go out and be independent later on.
But here's the thing. These parenting practices don't just happen in a vacuum. To really understand how that 6-year-old can ride the subway by herself, we have to zoom out and look at the powerful societal structure that makes it all possible.
This quote gets right to the heart of it. That 6-year-old on the subway isn't alone because her parents are neglectful. She's alone because her entire society has collectively agreed to look out for her. It's literally everyone's job to keep all children safe. So, that's the secret ingredient, isn't it? This deep, collective social trust. It's the safety net that allows parents to feel comfortable letting go, and it gives children the freedom they need to explore, to make mistakes, and to build genuine, true self-reliance.
So what can we all take away from this? Even if we don't have that exact same societal safety net, there are still some incredibly powerful principles we can start applying in our own homes. Let's break down the key practices.
Okay, first, praise effort, not just talent. Think gambatte. Next, use that 5-second rule to teach them responsibility. Always remember to connect before you correct, using physical touch and your calm, silent presence. And use that silence during a tantrum to help them co-regulate. And finally, build good habits through gentle, consistent practice, that shitsuke, not through punishment.
And that leaves us with one final thought. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just think about this. What is one small habit, one tiny shift from all these ideas that you could try today to start building a more resilient, more connected, and a much calmer home?